Sir. Yes, sir. It's that time again.
Welcome back to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Right, me. Duh. For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Man, I remember when that show was like a hot item. My whole family would get together and watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
I love trivia shows.
Like it was real or something.
Like any kind of trivia shit, I'm all about. Jeopardy, definitely Jeopardy. Old school
hard.
Alex Trebek Jeopardy. That's my favorite shit.
I used to watch Jeopardy just to try and make myself feel good about myself. if I got a question right, I'd be like, hell yeah.
Like, I'm so smart. What up, Leyland? Sucky with the cookie? What up, Orion's Riddle? See Yuvonda, Dennis Lindsay, Scott Robinson, Michelle Janae. Hey, Mr. Sertle. What's going on? Look, Tyler, I'm doing the names first. See, before we even do anything. Ain't that something? Look at that.
Good idea.
Look at that. So I take it we're good on Foxhole then? What up, Jessica Sykes?
What the heck?
Watch Loyal to the Foil, but don't believe anything she says. Do your own research for yourself. Don't let other people think for you.
What up, everybody? Happy Friday. Do your own research. That's for sure. I see you doing sign language, Tyler. Like, did I miss something? What's going on, fam?
You did, yeah. So it was you started lagging, and then the feed was lagging, but then it all came back.
Okay. I think we look good over here. What up, bruh? Woke One, Patriot Corps, good to see you. Keep true. Who did I miss? I saw Soul. What was it? Soul Mana for the Soul, Mana Soul Essence. I like that. Up 3.
I think it's Mana Soul Essence.
Oh, you know me. I'm thinking Mana from Heaven, man. That's 2 N's, ain't it?
Maybe it is Mana. I don't know. Is it Mana or Mana?
I wonder. Right, what up, Laura Petrie? Good to see you guys. Melody, hello. Aaron. Ooh, I see Aaron in the chat. What up, Aaron?
Yeah, hey. We got a couple questions from Aaron tonight.
Oh, look, helping out. That's right. Good look on the lookout there. So guys, so I don't know if you caught this episode, but I have to share this with you, right? I know Tyler has seen this, but I thought this was some very important, like, breaking news, and I want to make sure you guys see it here first.
It is.
I'm looking forward to this, man.
Sure. What do you want to do?
Show me something. Come here, man.
So I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Come on, man.
What's your plan here?
Look, this is not, but
You knew she was 13?
No, I didn't.
Well, I've got the transcript right here. So this is funny.
You know, I get all this information about...
Instead of taking responsibility, he tries to blame it all on the decoy.
I was prepared for them to come after me, but I wasn't prepared for the person coming at me the way she came out. She knew Bo, she knows me. I don't... Anyway,
it sounds like what you're trying to see is if you could score with a 13-year-old girl.
It's not about that.
But you did bring some things with you tonight.
Well...
So you brought condoms.
That's a different issue.
Doesn't seem so tonight.
Look, every child out there is capable.
There's something I got to tell you. I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC.
Come on, man. I'm looking forward to this, man.
What do you want to do?
God, what am I? Hey, what are you gonna say? It's to catch a predator, man. Right?
Have you seen? That's hilarious.
The editing is spot on with that. Thank you, Amy Joe. Much love to you. Good to see you.
The problem,
Thanks for the cookie.
the sad part is that it could actually be
right.
real.
It seems legit, man. Seems legit.
He is definitely a little pedo,
like
or cheeto.
Right? Seems legit.
So there was a old like Family Guy episode or something where they did a little To Catch a Predator skit.
Did they?
And except whenever they were waiting for him in the driveway, but when he came out, he was the actual predator from the movie Predator.
Right.
And
he caught the predator, man.
When he realized he was caught, he cloaked himself, and they were like, "We can still see you." And so then he did the self detonation and just boom, killed himself.
Hey, that's the only way out, man. The only way out.
It was funny because he thought he could cloak himself, but you know how even in the movie you could still see him.
Right, of course.
We can still see you.
Like, bruh. Thanks, Joan of Sark, for the cookie. Speaking of cookies, thank you for the donations, guys. I want to shout out real quick to Michelle Graceffa on Cash App last week for shooting me some money for a generator because, as you know, my power went out.
Yeah, no more of that shit.
I know, right? It's supposed to snow here again. I'm like, what is happening? Thanks, bruh, for the cookie. Yeah, I don't believe it. Like, this was last week, we got like a quarter of an inch of snow, right? It was melted by 11 o'clock. Alara comes in and wakes me up like, Foil, you got to drive me to work. I'm like, I look out the window, I'm like, bruh. She's like, you have a truck with mud grips. You've got to drive me to work. I'm like, it is 8 a.m., dude. Like, the streets are clear. But I drove her to work. It was good. It was good.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, seriously, man? It was like all gone by 11 o'clock. It was the great snowpocalypse of 2022. I heard you got a new Yuvonda.
I did. I got a new Yuvonda, blue.
Look at that.
And I have all of the ingredients upstairs. I forget what's all in it, but she posted this on Instagram. Yeah,
she's got a new Etsy. Have you seen it?
Right, yeah. But she posted a bunch of her products on Instagram, and I was like drawn to this one.
The blue one, right?
Yeah, what is that one? I want it. And she was kind enough to mail it to me.
Isn't that nice? I know.
And then in my old one here, I still have this one. So
right.
I've been casting spells all week.
You've been double handing it like what?
Right.
Look at all this stuff.
Did you see the thing? I just saw the things. Did you share it? No, who shared it? Jenny Constantine shared it. It was about a bunch of old depictions of Jesus Christ carrying a wand, using a wand, and old artwork and stuff. And it's all been like scrubbed from history. Ooh. And she was like, maybe he was just a magician.
Ta-da!
But it's really interesting. It literally shows him using a wand to multiply the wine and the bread and healing people with a wand.
Well, I feel better personally when I can fling this like I'm doing something. Did you see the red pill stuff she made? The red pill pyramids and little mini tower busters.
Oh no, I'm looking at it right now on the screen though.
They're sweet. Yeah,
she's got quite the business.
Yeah, she does. She makes all kinds of cool stuff. Look at these things.
Yuvonda's by Yuvonda.
Right, yeah. So you guys, it's Yuvonda's
That better
Healing
be the name
Arts.
of her Etsy store.
Well, she says there. Look, Yuvonda wands right there. Boom. She knows what it is. You know what it is, right?
Right.
Yuvonda. Yeah, they're sweet. They're sweet.
So
yeah.
Let's give a shout out to the truckers, huh?
Bruh.
That's the biggest. Okay, so this is the one Q drop that that's the only thing I could think of. The revolution won't be televised.
Oh, they do not want to talk about that. Right. Do you know how many fact checks I've seen? Like, there are maybe 500 trucks. They're like, this is not a Guinness Book World Record. You can't see it from space. Like, all day today. I'm like, man.
Yeah. Bullshit.
Come on, man.
Even Joe Rogan was covering it and showing live footage. There's more than 500 trucks.
Dude, Elon was on board. I saw Russell Brand come out with a video about it. Like, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see people stand up. I've seen some rumors about Brazil and Italy also, which is kind of sweet.
Australia.
Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Stand up, people. We
but
gonna rise up, El Talora.
no, seriously, like it's not, but it's funny. They say the revolution wouldn't be televised, and it's not. You have to look online for it. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, my feeds are full of it. But yes, if you're just some rando looking, you gotta
Well,
actually look.
right. Yeah, if you're not paying attention, which my sister doesn't pay attention to anything. I can, she just doesn't. She doesn't even pay. She's not online or on TV. She's just in their own bubble. This is a case for a lot of people. And when you bring up current events to her and stuff like that, she just doesn't know. And it's not just her; it's a lot of people like that. People have just checked out.
Completely.
And yeah, so it's not common knowledge. Like this stuff doesn't get around like we think it does because it's our reality, it's our world.
Right.
We are in these groups on social media. We see it, we follow it, but
Yeah, most people are probably clueless,
right.
Until somebody like Joe Rogan picks it up, and then of course it
Yeah,
becomes a whole thing.
well, he is the news now,
Right, for
really.
sure. For sure. What up, Fearless? Good to see you. Yes, Melody. Love the truckers. Like completely with that. Uh, yeah, I know some Americans were going up there riding with them too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's always good. That's always good. Um, what else, man? What else? A lot of stuff going on. A lot of
Yuvonda said,
happenings.
Yuvonda said, thank you all. Now, y'all go and buy some stuff so I can make it to the JTT conference.
Right. The link is in the description below, guys.
Right,
I put
right.
her Etsy link in the description below on YouTube, so go check it out. Um, all right, man. Let's do this.
I'm starting today
You start today.
because I had a dream that led to a dig that actually turned into something.
Look at that.
So I had a dream that I'm not the dream. It's a long dream to explain all the details, but long story short, Dennis Rodman was in my dream, and
Can we just start with that, please?
he was, but he was a reptilian hybrid, and he had to stay with me. He had to stay with me in hiding because no one could know that he was a reptilian hybrid, right? But he was a benevolent reptilian hybrid, like, and he was explaining to me like how they're not all evil and all the stuff, and like we had to keep him secret, kind of like the American Dad concept,
Right.
or even Alf. But so I woke up because I remember seeing like him shapeshift and stuff. And then when he would go in public in my dream, he would put on like an green alien skin tight costume, kind of like Spider-Man would wear. But it would be a green alien. So people just thought it was a tall dude walking around in an alien costume. Anyway, I woke up. I'm like, I just typed in Dennis Rodman alien. And I just realized that I should have told that story after my question because the question was which NBA player. So I might as well not even ask the question and just tell the story.
What are you smoking? That's what I want to know. That's a fantastic random dream to have. I'll tell you what.
Okay, here's a question. Let's see if you guys can guess it.
Right.
Which NBA player claims that he was abducted by aliens twice during his NBA career?
Twice.
So Dennis Rodman is obviously the answer. I blew that one, but
that's okay.
Doesn't even matter because what's more important is the actual dig that I did. So I typed in Dennis Rodman alien, and I didn't even know that he had come forward on an interview. So he wrote a few books, and one of the books he was promoting live on TV, he, for the first time ever, publicly said that he had been abducted by aliens twice at least. And he didn't talk about it much. They thought he was joking. They started laughing at him, and he was like, "No, I'm serious." And they're like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. Like, what happened?" And he started telling the story. But he's like, "It's all in the book if you want to hear about it." But I figured people were going to be reading it, so I might as well just get it over with and tell you now that's in the book. And then if you go in the book, it explains how he was making all of these trips to North Korea, and he became friends with Kim Jong-un. So
see, this all makes sense now.
Right. Like but he said all of his trips to North Korea were specifically related to his alien abductions and the whole alien, whatever was going on. So his trips to Korea were related to the abductions, But while he was in Korea, he became like best friends with Kim Jong-un. Like there's pictures of them together. They had this weird friendship. They do like he was always over there visiting him. Then when Trump went over to visit to North Korea, Dennis Rodman approached Trump and wanted and told Trump that he wanted to assist him in his meetings with Kim Jong-un in North Korea. So I'm like, why would he want to assist Trump? Like, what's going on there? Like, what is this all really about? Because if he was specifically going over there for alien related purposes, why would he want to assist Trump with whatever he was doing with Kim Jong-un? That's what I want to
do. Right? I don't know. Makes sense to me. For some reason, it just makes perfect illogical sense in my head. Kim Jong-un, Dennis Rodman, lizard people,
Trump,
Trump, right?
Yeah.
It makes absolute complete sense to me. What up, First Branch? Who else did I see in here? Desert Fire, good to see you. What up, Marceau? Yeah, crazy stuff, man. Yeah, Dennis Rodman wrote books, man. I didn't even know he could read. Like, he wrote multiple books, dude. I was amazed. Personally amazed.
And he acted in a couple movies. He was in that movie, Double Impact with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I love Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm just saying.
Right, me too. Bloodsport, man.
Right.
That was
Bloodsport was awesome. Right.
That was my movie, man.
Right.
My mom brought that VHS home one day just because she knew I was into martial arts and stuff when I was a kid.
Didn't we all go through that in like the 80s? Like I'm watching Cobra Kai now, like and feeling like it's a throw. Yeah. I know, right? The show is awesome. It's a total throwback. What up, Blonde BOQ? Good to see ya. TikToks wants me to go sing later. Oh Lord, no, he does not. Right.
But my mom brought home that movie. I didn't know who Jean-Claude Van Damme was. The next thing you know, I'm binge watching that movie. I'm watching that movie on loop over and over, and I'm,
right. Thought you were like the Muay Thai master veins, now, right?
Veins popping out of my neck. I'm trying to put a blindfold on. I'm trying to like learn how to fight blindfolded.
Right, badass. Truly. All right. I got a question for you, sir. What mountain is claimed by conspiracists to be where the Watcher Angels fell and contains a gateway to the underworld? All right, what mountain is claimed by conspiracists to be where the Watcher Angels fell and contains a gateway to the underworld? Is it A, Mount Ararat, B, Mount Everest, C, Mount Hermon, or D, Mount Nebo?
The two that I thought you were gonna say aren't even on the list.
Oh, shocking.
So I don't know. Say that. Can you read the answers again? Because I was just waiting to hear the one.
A, Mount Ararat, B, Mount Everest, C, Mount Hermon, or D, Mount Nebo?
C.
Final
when
answer.
When in doubt, go with C.
Go with C, right? Van Damage, right, Alora? Let's see. I'm seeing Mount Ararat.
JCVD.
You guys try Fearless? You trying to say Shasta? Mount Shasta?
Shasta.
Everybody's going with Ararat. Yeah, it is C. Tyler, it's Mount Hermon.
Boom.
Look at you. Boom, right? So Mount Ararat, that's where the Ark is supposed to be, right? Mount Nebo, I've actually been there. That's where God showed Moses the promised land. That's in Jordan. That was kind of a neat place. There are all kinds of like mosaics and stuff. And dude carved me a little camel. It's awesome. Yeah.
I thought you were either going to say the Himalayas or the Buseji Mountains.
No. Mount Hermon. So this is right between.
So where's Mount Hermon?
Between Syria and Lebanon. And even though it's like singular, like Mount Hermon, it's actually got 3 distinct peaks known as the Hermonites, right? So to put this in like biblical perspective, it's like 40 miles from the Sea of Galilee, right? Which is where Jesus was kicking it. And then Moses battled the resident of Mount Hermon. And actually the Lord appeared there a couple of times, like in the vicinity of, right? So this was the mountain that they were talking about in the book of Enoch, right? It was also mentioned in the Epic of Gilgamesh. So this this seems legit to me. So in the Book of Enoch, Mount Hermon was the place where the Grigori, the Watchers, traveled back and forth between Earth and the fifth heaven. Like this is where they were seen to be rising and descending, right? And I mean, like I said, it was mentioned in numerous other ancient and religious texts. So the weird thing is, in 1973, when war broke out between Syria and Israel on and around Mount Hermon, Israel was using Mount Hermon as a radar outpost and some of the most top super secret shit they had up there, right? So, needless to say, the United States got involved. It resulted in an agreement. There was a buffer zone put up. So, the United Nations goes in and puts a post on Mount Hermon, which seems super sus to me as a conspiracy theorist, right? Like this is where the angels are coming and going, and suddenly there's a big, I mean, there's a serious war going on there, and then the United Nations just moves in and sets up shop. Um, and apparently the base is still there today, which is kind of crazy.
That's very interesting. There's a base under every mountain.
Imagine that, right?
Well, because I thought, like, I know under the Himalayas, like, there's a whole entire.
To be tunnel networks going to.
Well, it's supposed to be like a reptilian underground city civilization.
Damn lizards are everywhere, man.
But that was one of the big, like under Tibet, like it went for miles and miles. It was like 7 floors deep or whatever, and blah blah blah.
The Chinese are always finding shit up under the mountains in that area. Like we've talked about that several times.
Well, that's where all those dragon societies came from, the Himalayan mountains, and they were supposedly channeling. They didn't know who they were channeling, but according to some people, they were channeling reptilians who were living just below the surface in their caves. So
imagine that.
And then the whole Buseji Mountains. That's what the Transylvania Sunrise books refer to. All that. There's tons of.
Was that what you guys were just talking about this week on your show?
No, we were talking about the Bosnian pyramids.
Right. Sorry, totally different subject.
All right. Let's see. All right, so let me not give away the answer. According to Project Camelot whistleblower George Green, which Hollywood movie is direct disclosure of the human cloning program? A, Multiplicity with Michael Keaton. B, Replicas. Ooh. C, The Sixth Day. D, Boys from Brazil.
Boys from Brazil. Although Replicas is pretty awesome, and there's a lot of cloning in there too. Right?
So yeah, I'll read it one more time. According to Project Camelot whistleblower George Green, which Hollywood movie is direct disclosure of the human cloning program? A, Multiplicity. B, Replicas. C, The Sixth Day. D, Boys from Brazil. The answer is Boys from Brazil.
Yay!
Which I've talked about quite often. I've even talked about on this show before, but I was just thinking about it again. D, A. So one person gets A, Multiplicity, the Michael Keaton movie. That was like the first time that somebody discovered how to like make a duplicate of somebody in a film, on film. So they made a movie.
Right. Why not?
But it actually, it's kind of really, that movie might actually have more disclosure in it than we realize as far as
they all do. The government. Wait, hold on. Speaking of governments and movies, can I just bitch for a second? I almost totally forgot that I wanted to bitch about this. I know I sent this to you right before the show. Did you guys know that China has now gone in and changed the ending of Fight Club? And in this change, the government wins and everybody gets arrested. Like instead of showing the scene where like the skyscrapers, where the explosions go off and the skyscrapers come down, now they just cut to like a card that says like the government figured it out before the bombs went off and all of the criminals were arrested, like like
and paint the government as
right, like they're so like they just saved everybody. Like what the hell is wrong with these people?
So Fearless is asking a few times, who is this information coming from? It's coming from me and Foil. Duh.
Right? Don't you know?
No, but the Boys from Brazil, if you guys haven't seen it, it might seem like a totally boring movie to you if you don't realize it's straight up disclosure. According to George Green, even down to the names of the people they use, he said they show you in the movie the exact cloning process they use. They literally show you how to clone a human in the movie, and they do. And he said that's not. George Green said that is not made up script. That is how they were cloning people back at that time, and they were specifically cloning Hitler. They were making clones of Hitler. That's what the whole movie was about.
Right.
And there was an island where they kept these kids, and they were cloning these little boys, but they would place them all throughout the world, and then they would go check on them and like see their progress. And these boys didn't know there was clones of themselves living all over the world, you know. But it was supposed to be, and there was a bunch of them because they were trying to get the perfect Hitler again.
Of all the people to clone, like
right.
You could pick anybody, right? You got to be a shady bastard to pick Hitler.
That movie is like, it's straight up like when you're watching it, you just don't even feel like it's a movie. You're like, they did this, and it was crazy.
Makes sense to me, man. They do all kinds of shady shit.
Replicas is direct disclosure also. So was The Sixth Day.
That movie was good. I haven't seen The Sixth Day, but Replicas, that was pretty good. That's the one where he's trying to save his family, right?
Right.
Yep, that was pretty good.
The Sixth Day is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and that's more of like the clones meet each other and they don't know which one's the original, and it's really confusing, and like I don't know. But
I'm the original. Period.
But that movie also shows the cloning facility, and they show like the whole facility and how they're doing it and how they pulled off and how they just need a little bit of your DNA to do it. Blah blah blah. I think they've been telling us for a long time.
Not surprised. Oh, is Suitor here? What up, Suitor Bug? Hey. Yeah, since Alara's in the chat, I will mention this now. Space Force News is back this Sunday, guys. So stop what you're doing. Whatever it may be, we expect to see it at 9 o'clock. Right? So, Pilar Kiwala, right?
What up?
According to conspiracists, the Pakistani city of Mohenjo-Daro was wiped out by what over 4,000 years ago? Was it A, the biblical flood, B, an alien plague, C, an atomic explosion, or D, a freak blizzard?
C, final answer.
Final answer? Are you just going with C all the time now? Or are we sure about this one?
No, that's my final answer for sure.
Right? Yeah, Patricia Sertle, we're back on Sunday, right? Yay! Let's see. What do you guys think? Mohenjo-Daro.
Pilar Kiwala.
Yeah, Pilar Kiwala. Look, everybody's saying C. It is C, right? Of course it's C. An atomic explosion, right? Which is crazy.
That was on Ancient Aliens. That's how I knew that one.
Oh, look at you. Learning stuff from Ancient Aliens. I mean, damn, man. This is actually a crazy freaking story, right? So apparently, Mohenjo-Daro signifies or means mound of the dead, which sounds like it would suck, but whatever. They found this place in 1922. Thanks, Sookie, for the cookie. Love the gold pills, guys. Thank you.
Pilar Iguana.
Right? Somebody posted a meme the other day talking about if you are smoking married iguanas, just unfollow me now. And I don't know why, but that shit seems so funny to me. Married iguanas. Right?
Married iguanas.
Married iguanas. Right? Whatever. C is for cat. Yes, it is. So in any case, so they find this shit. There is a layer of radioactive cinder, right? That, of course, now they want to explore more. This was around 2500 BC when this happened. They rediscovered it in the 1920s. 44 skeletons were found. They were just kind of dispersed all through the city in the most horrible of posings and manners. They found these things. And some of these skeletons actually had in excess of multiple times the dimension, in multiple times the level of radiation that they ought to have had. And, it was noted that these things emulate precisely the fallout that occurred in like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So they've got radioactive skeletons all over a city, layer of radioactive ash, and the shit happened like 4,000 years ago. Like, that's crazy to me. But when we think about stuff like, ancient Sanskrit texts, the Bhagavad Gita, all of these things that talk about these crazy weapons that they had, like, none of this should be surprising.
Right, exactly. Fearless said this was the first question with an actual answer. I don't.
Man, what you talking about, sir?
I know we gave you answers for all of them,
Right, there are
and where they
answers.
came from. So most of the time, where the information comes from is in the question. Anywho,
Wait, is he asking where we got the questions from? Like, I literally will read news or go through and just researching things that I come across, and I write these questions, but they're all sauced. I should start posting the links
right?
for people instead of just keeping it here where I can see it.
Yeah, but that's a lot.
It is a lot. I know, right? Writing these
Because
questions is a
there's
lot.
multiple articles on everything. So I think we talked about this one before, but whatever. According to David Wilcock, which group of ETs was residing in Paradise, California, and were specifically targeted during the 2018 wildfires? A, the Centaurians, B, the Nordics, C, the Tall Whites, D, the Reptilians.
I'm going with the lizards. I don't know. Like,
You don't know.
I'm always going with the lizards. Yeah, Wonder Mod. Well, no, it just seems to be the only people that are watching are my mods. So it looks like everybody has a ranch.
So I don't know if that actually that's not like David Wilcock's information. That's from like one of his insiders or whatever. But he relayed the information. So according to David Wilcock, which group of ETs were residing in Paradise, California, and were specifically targeted during the 2018 wildfires?
Oh.
A, Centaurians, B, Nordics, C, Tall Whites, D, Reptilians.
Well, the consensus appears to be A. I have no idea, so I just go with lizard,
The consensus would be right. It is A, the Centaurians. So apparently they had been residing there for quite some time. They look like humans, just like a taller, more built version. But they had, I think, did he say they had like double rows of teeth or something was up with his teeth? And they were all like dentists. There was a lot of dentists in that area, and they were having like reconstructive work done. They have normal teeth so they can fit in. But apparently their homes in this certain neighborhood in a certain area like had base elevators that went underground into like a tunnel system, and and that area was specifically targeted with a direct energy weapon because they were going to be one of the first groups that were going to like show themselves to humanity as disclosure. And they were trying to like silence them, just kill them, so that whole narrative, that whole agenda couldn't happen. And that's why that area was specifically targeted to burn down their homes and kill them or whatever. So
they're like super buff with 2 rows of teeth.
Yeah, exactly. They had fangs, or they have double rows of teeth. Somebody said they have fangs. I don't remember exactly all the details. I'd have to go back. Aaron could probably help me out with that one, to go back and find exactly where he talked about that. But I thought it was fascinating at the time. Who knows?
The pictures from the Paradise fires were crazy. Like, that was clearly not like cars were melted to the road. Like, there was shit that was hit, and then everything around it was not hit. Like, I remember that being ridiculous. Like, obviously ridiculous.
Right. Exactly. That's all DEWs.
Right? Yeah, they got all kinds of crazy shit now. I just saw today China has some satellite that yoked another satellite out of its orbit and threw it into, like, it was not functioning. So they have this thing that could grapple and then yoke them out of orbit now, right? Which put everybody, in a frenzy, like, oh God, they're going to be up there just snatching shit.
I like the article. You know how this object in space now is beaming radio signals
Oh
like
yeah,
every
yeah, like every 18
12
minutes,
minutes. Yeah,
right?
whatever, 18 minutes. And they're like, oh, it's probably like a white dwarf, or they're trying to
It's a
like blame it on
dying
us.
pulsar.
Yeah, exactly. Like they do everything they possibly can to not say, oh, it could be an intelligent life, you know?
Yeah, of course not. It could never be that,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Thank you,
they're
Sookie,
like
for the cookie.
toss some word salad together of a bunch of fancy words that nobody knows what it means. I'm like, oh, it's got to be this.
Well, obviously. Well, obviously, right?
Right.
Well, speaking of aliens, according to leaked Snowden documents, and we may have, I don't know if we talked about this here before, the leaders of Iran believe the U.S. is being ruled by which alien race? Is it A, the Greys, B, the Tall Whites, C, the Reptilians, or D, the Anunnaki?
Well, I mean, you got to go with the Lizzies.
Right, you would think, right? And I mean, Iran's government apparently thinks this. Maybe it's true. I don't know,
Well, I'm going
right?
to go with the reptilians just because that's most likely the case, but it could be all of the above. It could be different groups ruling different areas, you know?
The important thing is Iran says the United States is being run by aliens, right? Which makes sense to me. I don't know, man. Yeah, apparently Snowden talked about aliens, right?
Right.
All right. Apparently Snowden talked about aliens, beginning hope. Um,
Probably C. C, 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 C,
right.
C.
The answer is actually B, right? It's the tall whites. So apparently, according to Iran, the US government is being controlled by a secret regime of aliens who were instrumental in the rise of Nazi Germany, they say. And this is according to Iran's semi-official news agency Fars. Okay? They cited a report based on documents leaked by whistleblower Edward Snowden and filed under the space section of the website. Fars said the Russian Federal Security Services had recently been stunned by these revelations, right? Proving that an alien slash extraterrestrial intelligence agenda is driving U.S. domestic and international policy and has been doing so since at least 1945. Thanks, Vader, for the cookie. Can't appreciate the gold pill love enough. Thank you. One of the many explosive revelations in this FSB report, the article says, the one most concerning to Russian authorities are Snowden's documents confirming that the tall whites are the same extraterrestrial race behind the rise of Germany in the 30s. The alien assistance, the report added, manifested itself in the Reich's technically superior submarines, apparently. You know, and this report that the FSB and Iran have now co-signed mentions former President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was supposed to, like we've discussed here, met with the tall whites in 1954, which is allegedly when this regime, you know, started ruling America. And then apparently President Barack Obama is supposed to be the incumbent leader of these, you know, of this group. Like, who'd have thunk it, right? Who'd have thunk it?
I think it's both. I think it's not just the tall whites.
Right. Well, the Huffington Post debunked it, though, just so you guys know.
Oh, right.
Right. So that makes it okay. You know, clearly the Russians and the Iranians are crazy. What up, frightening me?
So I wonder, who is the Sudabug said, duh, where do you think the Draco got the AI from? The tall whites. I'm sure they're working together. And who knows? Maybe the tall whites are above the Draco. We're just all in speculation over here, you
Didn't
know?
I send you a document yesterday called what was it called? The Tuatha Danann about the
Yeah.
tall whites?
Right. What was it? Yeah,
Tuatha Danann. Tuatha De Danann is what it was called. It was a document about the
Elena Danann?
It sounds like that. It sounds just like that, oddly enough.
It's spelled like that too.
Yeah. Danann part was definitely spelled like that. Odd. Yeah. So apparently the tall whites are in league with the lizards. You know, whatever, the Nazis. That can't be a good thing, right?
Right.
Oh, I have somebody on Twitch giving answers. What up, Twitch fam and DLive fam? Guys, if I click on shit, it's gonna be all bad. Just so you know. Just so you know. Let me see. Oh, can I see my Twitch?
Yeah. Definitely
right?
don't
I'm trying not
cut the feed like last time.
Try not to click on shit, guys. I promise. Let me see if I can see it in my Streamlabs stuff over here. I don't know if it pulls from my Twitch, but much love to you. Thank you for watching. Right? Yeah. So in any case, it's weird. Tuatha De Danann. Who'd have thunk it? Yep.
All right. This next question is from Aaron. So we're going into like expert level here.
Okay. Bring it.
The author and researcher charged this author and researcher charged NASA with a conspiracy to cover up the discovery of runes and various artifacts on the moon that would change the history of Earth as we know it, and also expose various monuments on Mars. So this author and researcher charged NASA with a conspiracy to cover up the discovery of runes and various artifacts on the moon that would change the history of Earth as we know it, and has also exposed various monuments on Mars. A. William Cooper. B. Stanton Friedman. C. Richard C. Hoagland. D. Stephen Greer.
I have no idea. I'm going to go with Hoagland.
Hoagland.
Yeah.
So he sent me, I got to go back and read. He sent me the literature.
And Fearless, if Aaron said it, it must be true. Wait, over here having a fit.
Right.
Right? Honest to God, I pull these questions from like places that seem legit, man.
Right. It's either on the internet or
yeah, if it's on the internet, it must be true.
From a book. Some of them are just conspiracies that remain conspiracies. We don't know one way or the other.
Right.
So C seems to be. We have A, C, D,
I
B.
see D's,
we have
B's.
all of each. The School of Multidimensional Intuition says, I feel like it was Hoagland. What's up, Matthew?
Hey, fam.
All right, the answer is Hoagland. C.
Ha! Look at that.
So NASA whistleblower Richard C. Hoagland, a leading contributor of controversial astronomical theories, charged the space agency NASA with a conspiracy to cover up the discovery of runes and various artifacts on the moon that would change the history of Earth as we know it. Hoagland claims to have unearthed a 1960 NASA commissioned report by the Brookings Institution recommending that any future discoveries of alien life on the moon be kept from the public in order to not disturb the evolutionary flow of the 20th century civilization.
Oh, so this was in the Brookings report.
Yeah.
Ah, well, now it definitely makes sense. Thanks, Vader, for the cookie.
So basically, they said, don't tell us about the aliens because we don't want to disturb the evolutionary flow of the 20th century civilization.
Yeah, they don't want to, violate the Prime Directive or whatever.
Aaron answered his own question. Yep, it's Hoagland.
Right? Don't tell Aaron. Jeez. All right. Fearless. This is from the news, so you can't tell me this is crazy. A statement. Speaking of Mars. Yeah. Okay. A statement, sorry, we were just talking about Mars, and I got a question about Mars. A statement recently released by NASA, so we know that it's true, guys, details a study in which researchers found a particular type of what on Mars that is commonly associated with life here on Earth. Is it A, carbon, B, hydrogen, C, silicon, or D, nitrogen? So a statement recently released by NASA details a study.
Recently, okay.
Recently, yeah, like real recently. Details a study in which researchers found a particular type of what on Mars that is commonly associated with life here on Earth. Is it A, carbon, B, hydrogen, C, silicon, or D, nitrogen?
I don't know. I'm going to wait and see what everyone else says.
Right, there you go.
We have A, B, carbon.
What up, Christina Love? Good to see you.
C. My
weed.
First.
It's definitely weed.
Right. Well, it could be so. I don't know. I'm going to go with C, even though I don't think that's it.
Right.
I'm going to guess the obscure one.
There you go. Let's see. Gorilla Glue. It could be Gorilla Glue. It's definitely associated with life here on Earth. So it's carbon. And this actually, I think this was released maybe this week or last week.
I haven't heard it. Yeah.
So there, I mean, the headlines were like "Life on Mars again," right? So they say the existence of carbon alone on the planet doesn't conclusively prove the existence of biology, but what they're thinking is that this could point to some sort of ancient bug of some sort, maybe bacteria, microbes, or other associated bugs on Mars.
Man,
and
they put a lot of effort into
saying that
avoiding disclosure.
yeah, they're like, well, we found something, but we didn't find anything yet. Like, we don't know, right? They said we're finding things on Mars that are tantalizingly interesting, but we really need more evidence to say we've identified life. And this is from Paul Mahaffey, who was an investigator that was working with Curiosity rover. And this was posted by NASA. He said, so we're looking at what else may have caused the carbon signature that they're seeing if it wasn't life. But chances are what they're finding, I mean, in the levels that they're finding it and the type that they found, whatever, like, it looks like this could be evidence of some sort of life. Yeah, Yuvonda, that's right. That was the first thing I thought of, was the spiders on Mars when I read this, right? So they published this in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences on January 18th of this year, right? And the scientists obviously had three hypotheses. The carbon was a result of ancient microbial life, was their primary hypothesis. Of course, they can't really rock with that because people will freak out, so they think. And then they're saying maybe it was a result of like an interaction between ultraviolet light and carbon dioxide, or maybe the carbon was left behind after like some major cosmic event. But most of these guys are rocking with it was probably life. So.
Oh, these poor guys.
I know, right? And like when we were talking about disclosure, like I told Laura this, I don't know how many times. Like the first thing that they'll say is that they found some sort of microbe on Mars. Like that's the easiest thing to go with. It's the easiest thing to kind of move people into the idea that there was shit alive a long ass time ago, right? Before they say anything about Earth, they'll say, well, we found some evidence that means that there could be life in other places. Like they'll just kind of drip,
Yeah, they're just playing us all for a fool, like that stupid flying car. Like,
bruh,
it's literally an airplane.
I want one.
Not the drone.
The one that transforms.
The one that it's fueled by conventional propulsion. So it literally is a plane. It's
but it's a car, right? You can drive it, but it transforms into a plane.
Right, but
I need that.
It's a plane. Either way, it's still a plane. Like, a plane can be considered a flying car also. It's like, no, just stop.
I need that, bro.
Anyway.
Right.
Like, it's not a flying car unless you can take off from your driveway. I'm sorry. Otherwise, it's a plane.
Rodney Reno says, I've seen Mars worms in a lab. I'd be interested in hearing about that, right? I need to know about these Martian worms. I'm more concerned about the Martian spiders that, what's his nuts? What's the guy?
Randy Kramer.
Yeah, that guy.
Not
he
just
says
him. It comes from a few different people.
They're gonna come and they might attack, like dun dun dun, like attacking Martian spiders that suck.
Next question.
Another
one from Aaron.
Ooh.
This Polish American author became widely, don't laugh at me.
I'm laughing with you, Piler.
This Polish American offer. God, I feel like a Laura. This is why you have this effect on people. That's what it is. This Polish American author became widely known in ufology circles after he displayed numerous photographs of alleged alien spacecraft in the 1940s and 1950s, claimed to have met with friendly Nordic alien space brothers, and claimed to have taken flights with them to the moon, where he saw cities, trees, and snow-capped mountains, and also to other planets.
Ooh.
So basically, what's the name of the author that met some aliens and was taken to the moon and other planets? A. Billy Meyer. B. George Adamski. C. George Van Tassel. D. Guy Ballard.
I don't know. Adamski sounds Polish. I'll go with that one.
Hey, it is a Polish last name. My last name used to be Kowalski, by the way,
Look at you.
Until they dropped the ski to Americanize it.
Right? Family came to Ellis Island. They were like, not Kowalski, right? Yeah.
Koala bear.
Right?
Which moon? I guess our moon, but I've never heard of mountains, snow-capped mountains, or trees on our moon in any testimonies. But so the answer is B, George Adamski, if that's how you say it. So I will read what he sent me because I actually didn't know about this guy. And it's pretty fascinating, actually.
Well, I'm a fan already.
To some, he was a prophet. To others, he was a laughingstock. Even this comes from the History Channel's website. That's why. It's to some, he was a prophet. Right. To others, he was a laughingstock. Even today, more than half a century after his death, George Adamski remains one of the most curious, controversial characters in UFO history. So he had multiple claims to UFO fame starting in the late 40s. He took countless photos of what he insisted were flying saucers, but experts, including J. Allen Hynek, debunked them, blah, blah, blah. Then in 1952, he reported that he had met and conversed with a visitor from Venus in the California desert using a combination of hand gestures and mental telepathy. Ooh. His story would only get stranger from there. He chronicled his alleged adventures in several books. The first, Flying Saucers Have Landed, in 1953. That just talks about his books. In his 1955 sequel, Inside the Spaceships, he described further meetings, not only with Venezuelan, but also with people from Mars and Saturn. In his telling, every planet in our solar system was populated with human-like inhabitants and was the dark side of the moon. I could keep going on and on. It's a whole thing. But anyway, he was a contactee who claimed to have...
They have any of his pictures there? You know, Hynek was forced to debunk a lot of things. And he said so.
That's what Project Blue Book was. It was a program to cover up the UFO.
Yeah, so, and I mean, there were things that they made him, like reports they made him sign off on that he just was not cool with signing off on, but he did it anyway. Like, I think he went back to some of it later in life, like, this was kind of shady dealings.
But yeah, there is photographs that he claims are legit, and they're ones we've all seen before, old black and white saucers and cigars and stuff.
Imagine that. Told him, see, to some he was a prophet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think he's crazy. All right. Following the Great Reset, the top minds at the World Economic Forum are now proponents of what? Is it A, the Great Story, B, the Great Narrative, C, the Great Reckoning, or D, the Great Revolution? So following the Great Resets, these super geniuses at the World Economic Forum are now massive proponents of what? And as they call, A, the Great Story, B, the Great Narrative, C, the Great Reckoning, or D, the Great Revolution?
I have no idea. The Great Revolution.
You know, I stay on top of Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwabenland. You know, this freaking guy. That's all right, Florida girl. I know what you meant. Can't trust that guy at all. Let's see. Frightening Me says B. Leyland says B. Right? Yuvonda says it is, guys. It's the great narrative. I mean, of all the shit, right? We're always talking about the narrative that they push, whatever. This is the thing. These fools will come out and totally co-opt our language and then just use it and make it okay. Just like the Great Reset, right? It was horrible conspiracy theory. Dude literally wrote a book. Klaus Schwab literally has written a second part to that book now, right? Literally part 2, The Great Reset, is now called The Great Narrative. right? They published it in January. I have not. I promise I'm gonna come back with a video about it, like one of those educational videos I do. I'm gonna read it, right? I
I
got it
think
the
I
other day.
now that you're telling me the story, I think I knew about that,
Yeah, I'm
but I
lightweight
read
pissed
about it.
about it. Like,
Yeah,
how your balls have got to be so big to just come out and tell people, like, this is the narrative, guys, and we're just going to roll with this, okay? This is the story that we're going to tell ourselves and tell everybody else, and you will believe it and you will be happy. Like,
this is endgame. This is endgame for them. They have
bruh,
to do that.
they
Their system is crumbling. If they don't keep the narrative going, it's over. That's all they have left is the narrative.
honest to God, and they just ran with it. Like, they want to talk about the narrative. I'll get like, it's like a grand, like, you talk about a narrative, I'll give you a narrative. Like, they really came with it, the great narrative. So they met in Dubai in the UAE, right? And this was in like November of last year. And they unrolled this new initiative, right? Which is supposed to be like a collaborative effort of the world's leading thinkers to fashion longer term perspectives and to co create a narrative that can help guide the creation of a more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable vision for our collective future. Like, I love, collective, like, it's all about collectivism, right? They've got the top minds working on this, guys, so don't worry, because you're not one of them, right? We are not the top minds. They've got somebody on that ship, right? They've got people
Right.
from, they hired like futurists, not hired, I should say. Engaged futurists and scientists and philosophers, and they're getting all these ideas, and he literally put it together in a book called The Great Narrative that he published last month, right? And this is published under his own name, Klaus Schwab, right? So it must be true if he's saying it, right? It's just crazy. It's crazy the way they do this. Like, Dubai was super psyched to have them there naturally. Um, I don't know. It just mildly terrifies me, man. Thank you, Sean Joe, for the cookie. Much
Speaking
appreciative of the gold pill love.
speaking of Dubai, that one of our fans from Dubai messaged me on Instagram saying, she goes, weird happenings in Dubai. It's
Oh, yes.
not being reported anywhere. And she had some videos that she sent me. But she said they had real um super like weird weather anomalies all of a sudden, and just things that were just, let me see if I can find it. I'll just read
They,
it to you.
well, just, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but Iranian backed Houthi rebels had launched missiles at the UAE, at Dubai. The US had to intervene to help them. Like, and if she's saying the crazy shit was happening at the same time, that would not surprise me at all.
Right. She said, so something weird was happening in Dubai yesterday. This was like last week or something. She goes, yesterday we received a weather warning that temperatures dropping below 20 degrees and high winds. The city doesn't receive much weather variation. I just thought they were being dramatic. However, there were these higher than usual sea levels also. Then around the beach areas, these naked people were wandering around the city. The thing is, for Dubai, we can get,
That's crazy.
she said, the thing is, we can get in Dubai, we can get instantly deported for sexual acts and public nudity. So people know better. However, these people walked around areas near the beach unaffected by their nakedness as if it's all they ever known. They kind of reacted towards people briefly, made their way, blah, blah, blah. But she said, in my opinion, they seemed like people escaping some sort of captivity or abduction. And then she said, disclaimer, video of naked people. And she sent me some videos of naked people walking around. And I'm not joking.
You'd have to be crazy to do that.
She said she said, I'm not joking. I watched the videos. These people are possessed. They're walking around like literal zombies, like on autopilot. The one guy has like superhuman strength, and he's walking up to this guy in the intersection, and he's trying to pull him off his motorcycle, and he's like fighting this guy, but he's possessed. It's like somebody's control, like literally like what you see in a zombie movie. And he's completely naked, and he's literally trying to get like this
naked man runs up to me trying to take my shit. Just take it,
but it's
bro.
not, when you watch it, you're not watching a human. It's literally disturbing. You can see these people are like possessed. That's the only way
That
to
is
describe
that
it.
is okay. So aside from the attack, which Iran attacking Dubai, like, I understand that because they were one of the first people to sign the Abraham Accords with Israel. So Iran's probably big mad at UAE. Like, I get that. But what you're saying, like, Dubai controls its weather. Like they absolutely control their weather. Like they
Yeah.
build islands, they control their weather. They are super super strict as far as like the protocols for being able to live, like to be a citizen of and to live in the city. Like they're right, your viewer is right. Somebody walking around naked there doesn't happen. She said there were people, like multiple people that were down by the beach. Maybe they came up out of the sea. I know that sounds. Maybe they came.
They,
I'm rampantly speculating here. Thank you, D-Back, for the can.
she post a video. Matthew said post a video, and Suiterbug, stop making fun of me. Uh, I'm Italian. We talk with our hands and body language. You should see my family. You'd have
Right?
you'd have a freaking seizure if you watch my family having a conversation.
Oh, good God, I know, right?
So the funny thing is that WhatsApp was blocking the videos from being sent because
Imagine that.
she used WhatsApp a lot, and she said that it's the first time she's ever tried to send anything on WhatsApp, and then there was a block on it, and so she couldn't send the videos on WhatsApp.
That's crazy. Rodney Reno says hippies. Like there are no hippies in Dubai, bro. Right? But like naked guy.
No, they're not hippies. They're literally possessed. Who knows? They could have escaped from some lab or something.
Man, who knows? Maybe they got like I don't know. Solar flashes. Maybe they were released to attempt a false flag. I don't know. Just random naked people running around. That's like the weakest false flag ever. But it is kind of crazy. Sean Joe said like that naked guy who chewed that homeless guy's face off a few years ago in Florida. That dude was on
So
shit,
I'm not.
what's that drug called?
Not even
Flocka.
joking. She sent me the videos on Instagram, and none of them are playable anymore. And they're not. It wasn't like the one time thing. Like it's literally like somebody removed them.
That's crazy, dude.
I can't even watch them myself.
The government probably blocked all that shit. Like they are very strict about what goes in and out on social media over there.
Wow.
Aaron says AI controlled clones. Maybe.
It's something. It's crazy. Yeah.
Maybe. Thanks, Wonder Mod. Yeah.
I'll see if I can find them, and I will share them just for the heck of it.
Yeah, please find. I'm gonna spend at least an hour later looking for these videos, guys. This may need to be revisited.
I'll send you. I mean, she actually said she had more, but she didn't want to send them all to me and fill
Can
my.
she email them? Like we
Yeah,
need.
I'll talk to her.
Right?
I'll ask her.
No, Desert Fire, not Spice. The shit that the dude was on in Florida was called Flocka. It was like a thing. It turned people into zombies. Like they were doing all kind of crazy shit. It was a crazy drug fad that went through the area a while ago.
So
Amelia said reading about it on Reddit now. I'm gonna have to go look for that. That's crazy.
Is it your turn or my turn?
Your turn because I was talking about the World Economic Forum.
That's right. This is my last question. According to an article in Reader's Digest, due to his impressive salary, claims have been made that the Dalai Lama is actually an agent of which three-letter agency?
Ooh.
A, the FBI, B, the NSA, C, the CIA, or D, the FJB?
Well, it's obviously D. I mean, God. Right. I don't know. The CIA?
According to Reader's Digest, due to his impressive salary, claims have been made that the Dalai Lama is actually an agent of which three-letter agency? A, FBI, B, NSA, C, CIA, D, FJB.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the CIA. Blame them for all of the foreign ailments.
So everybody is like, no brainer, C.
Right.
This one actually comes from a friend of mine also. I had some help making the questions today. I wasn't, I was so excited about the Dennis Rodman one, and I totally blew it.
Right? That's interesting information. Dennis Rodman. It does not surprise me at all.
Okay, here we go. I'll read you a little bit about it. Where's it at? All right, ready?
So it is the CIA?
It is the CIA.
Imagine that.
Conspiracy. The Dalai Lama is a CIA agent. The truth. Perhaps the reason the Dalai Lama is smiling in all those photos has something to do with his six-figure salary he pulled down from the U.S. government during the 1960s. According to declassified intelligence documents, he earned $180,000 in connection with the CIA's funding of the Tibetan resistance to the tune of $1.7 million per year. The idea was to disrupt and hamper China's infrastructure. The Dalai Lama is believed to have the power to choose the body into which he is reincarnated, meaning that the current Dalai Lama is a reincarnation of the last. Today, millions of people across all religions believe in reincarnation. That's the end of the article. So he's a CIA agent. Aaron said he 100% is, so must be right.
Frightening me said Snopes that.
Right.
If Snopes says it must be true, guys. We know this. We know this. All right. I'm with you. What are you guys talking about over here? Fermented waste, drinking mop water? What the hell is going on in the chat? I'm just curious. Okay, which company that ties to BlackRock is responsible for aggregating your financial data from your personal bank account in order to help with social credit score infrastructure?
TikTok.
Is it A, Yodlee, B, Clyde, C, Spring Labs, or D, Flywire? I'm going to read that again. Right? Because think of that this is mortifying to me personally. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but this shit was scary to me. What company with ties to BlackRock, naturally, is responsible for aggregating your financial data from your personal bank account in order to help with social credit score infrastructure? Is it A, Yodlee, B, Clyde, C, Spring Labs, or D, Flywire?
I'm going to go with C.
Final answer? Spring Labs. Spring Labs. Desert Fire says Vanguard. They're shady as shit too. Right? Let's see. CDC. It is A. It is Yodlee. Right?
Don't be making shit up.
I swear to God. So
I'm joking.
Have you noticed, like, let me ramble on about this for a minute. Have you noticed that there are places like in some of your apps on your phone where you can go and you can click and it'll show you like what what your income was, what you spent on like health and fitness products, what you spent on food and dining, travel, pet supplies, like it breaks it down for you. It'll usually give you a little pie chart. Have you seen this? Like all of my apps do it. And now I'm pissed and
I know
determined to throw a fit about it. So apparently, and this was written, I think this is from a Bloomberg article. Somebody had noticed that their expenses were being categorized like this. So they started looking into it, and the company that was doing this was Yodlee. And they had signed over 16 data access agreements with institutes like Capital One, Wells Fargo, TD Bank. We're talking about millions of people. They're one of the largest financial aggregators. They sell your data. They currently have a class action lawsuit against them, which has not deterred them at all. They were acquired by Envestnet in 2015. And just to put that in perspective, Envestnet works with 17 of the top 20 banks, along with 5,200 other banks and companies, right? They manage like 4.8 trillion in assets, right? After Envestnet bought them in 2015, naturally, 3 years later in 2018, BlackRock bought an equity stake in Envestnet, partnered with them to integrate their technology with Envestnet's, right? A year later, Envestnet's CEO and his wife died in this mysterious fatal car crash just after the going direct reset was signed into place, right? 3 months later, several Democrats filed for an FTC investigation into Envestnet Yodlee over privacy concerns because they are selling your data into companies run by BlackRock that is using these financial aggregations to help build their social credit infrastructure, which is crazy. They want to break down what you're spending, so they have and your income. Now, remember, what did we see over this past year? Joe Biden wanting to know if you had more than $600 in your bank, what you were doing, where it was coming from. Now they're going after PayPal and Cash App and any kind of transactions. Like they want to track everything you get
and tax it now too.
And tax, yes, exactly. Right? It's creepy.
Even the money that we get donated like on YouTube, if somebody donates you
Yes.
money, they tax that. It all goes into one pool on YouTube, and they take 30% of it, and then they tax it. They're literally robbing from everybody.
All the time. It's crazy. Like if you donate on Cash App, and I had just read this in an article too because I was like, what the fuck? If you want to donate to somebody on Cash App, if you just click like that you're sending to a friend, not as long allegedly, as long as you don't click that option where it's like you're paying a bill or paying for a service, they're not supposed to include that. But you know that they're keeping an eye on it anyway.
Right. And instead of like, because I can't use PayPal or Venmo anymore, which I tried to buy something online on this website, and most websites have even their credit card option or their debit card option is still through the PayPal website.
Right.
So I still can't even use my debit card because it's through the PayPal
That's
website.
crazy, dude.
PayPal just has me blocked. So there's a number of sites that I just can't purchase from anymore. So I'm whatever. I just won't spend the
They
money.
are so on our money and what we're doing. So yeah, if you want to donate on Cash App, make sure you click the send to friends, or you can donate directly at loyal2thefoil.com. Right?
Right. But they also, so what I have been doing, because people are fed up with it. And if you have over $600 in transactions on these sites now.
Yeah, not in your account, in transactions over the course of a year.
Right. So, which is going to happen for everyone because that's all people use now.
Right.
People are trying to avoid that. Literally the past 2 weeks, I've mailed 2 personal checks to people. They're like, just mail me a check. I want to avoid all that stuff. I'm like, sure, I still have a checkbook. So I've been writing checks again.
Yeah, but I mean, think about, even if you're using Wells Fargo or what they say, TD or Capital One, like even your checks are like they're going to be tracking all of that. But at least it won't be instantly available through electronic means like that.
I don't care if they track it. They're not going to tax my transaction.
Right.
You know, if I'm sending a check, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Leyland says social credit systems are the end of innate freedoms. We can't let it happen. Yes. And one of the first things that they have to do to get this infrastructure fully up and running and in place, just like they do in China, is run everything electronically. That's why they're pushing for, like, they're saying that we're going to have, it's certain we're going to have a U.S. digital currency. They're going after crypto right now because they want to come in with their own answer, that's going to be pegged. Like,
right.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Right, exactly. And then, yeah, crypto is an option, but it's not quite caught on all the way yet.
No, and they're about to try and regulate it to death.
Right. You can't just pay you pay whatever. You can't pay with crypto everywhere. They said, try buy me a coffee. Yeah, we use Donor Box for the podcast, Journey to Truth.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Buy me a coffee. Yeah. I saw it, like Natalie Denise uses that. I saw her using that.
Yeah, that's one of them. And then I think what we use is Donor Box. I think that's what Aaron set up. But it's a new way to donate,
Right.
But it's insane.
No, Suitor. If we used Foil Bucks, I would not tax you guys at all. Like my country, when I start my own shit, no taxes, man. Complete voluntarism. Like if you want to do something, do it.
Foil Bucks.
Right? Foil Bucks.
That's funny. Yeah, it's insane. Just taxes in general.
Taxation is theft, right, as we know on this channel.
Oh, that's the one thing. Like, if we're gonna get rid of anything, that would make a massive difference. You know what somebody would do if they got to take home their full paycheck?
You mean get to keep our actual money? That'd be some shit.
Right. Like if I try and sell my house right now, I have to put that money, the equity, back into another mortgage, or they'll tax me 46%, almost 50%.
That's ridiculous.
Almost 50% of my profit. So let's just say you have $100,000 profit, $100,000 in equity. If you don't put all of that, not some of it, all of it into another mortgage or some sort of loan like that, you have to pay 46% on it.
That's
almost
ridiculous.
50%. They rob you.
That's
they
ridiculous.
Straight up rob you, on top of paying personal property tax and other taxes every year on your house.
Never really own
and
anything.
Interest. and then interest on the loan. Like it's absolutely. I mean, I'm just preaching. Everybody knows this. It's just
I
all
know
bullshit.
taxes do piss me off. Like, I mean, we
And me
literally,
too. I can't stand it.
right? We literally can't have. This is why we can't have nice things, man.
Right.
It's bullshit. Yes, it's a huge siphoning scheme. Exactly. To do shit I don't want to do. Right?
Right.
Take
And
my
then now
money
you
and
got
make me pay for shit I don't give a shit about.
now the Dollar Tree's $1.25.
I can't even go buy shit for $1 no more, man. I don't know what's
Right.
happening. Weed-based economy, Rodney Reno says. Right.
Right.
That would solve many problems.
Trailer Park Boys figured that out. Hash coins. And it worked.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah, that's crazy. Oh yeah, you're out of questions, huh? All right.
Right.
Let's do a little old school here. Okay. Operation Snow Globe was a blackmail plot against what famous US politician?
Oh, I
A.
know.
Hillary Clinton, B. Barack Obama, C. Donald Trump, or D. Ron DeSantis. So Operation Snow Globe was a blackmail plot against what famous US politician? Was it Hillary, Barack, Trump, or Ron DeSantis?
It's either A or B, I think. I've read about this before. I'm off tonight. My brain is not here.
No worries, no worries.
It's not. It's simply not.
We'll do like one more after this. Let's see, anybody? I don't see anybody coming in with any answers.
Aaron said Yuvonda, yes.
Not an answer. There's Suiterbug with D. Ron DeSantis. Up three says A. What up 3? Good to see you.
I literally know about this too. I've read about Operation Snow Globe.
This is kind of crazy, right?
I'm drawing a total blank.
Right. It's Hillary, guys. It's actually A. It's Hillary. So the former Overstock, remember the company, former Overstock CEO Patrick Byrne did an interview with Ann Vandersteel. He said that he was complicit in facilitating a bribe for Hillary Clinton in the amount of $18 million on behalf of the FBI in January of 2016. The bribe, which Byrne claims she accepted, was then going to be used by members of the Obama administration against Hillary after she was elected. Right? This is why they called it Snow Globe, so they could shake her up whenever they wanted to, allegedly. Right? Seriously. Right. So, yeah. As it was later explained to him, Byrne, President Obama has his people across the federal bureaucracy at this point. This is before Trump was elected, guys. So they're convinced Hillary's going to take office. But especially at the Department of Justice, he said, Hillary Clinton is going to be president for 8 years and nothing is going to change that. But it would be like a Bunsen burner within the DOJ, he said. That evidence about the bribes was going to be sitting on that Bunsen burner. And then the hand on the Bunsen burner was supposed to be Barack Obama's people. So whenever, if she's good, if she defends Obamacare, they're going to leave her alone. If she does anything she wants to do, they're going to shake her up. Right. And then it was supposed to be allegedly that when Hillary stepped down, Michelle was supposed to run. Right.
That plan was foiled.
I know, right? Foiled.
Right. Everything was foiled. Everything is right now. It's a big fat mess.
Yeah, Suiterbug said, I knew that. I didn't know they called it Snow Globe. Yes, apparently. Apparently. All right, let me see.
Aaron said, there's a delay in the chat for you guys. I can see it on your screen. Oh, because we have the infinity screen going on here.
Yes, sir. Gotta love the
you can probably
screen.
Change that. I'm sure there's a way you can set that differently.
Well, I could just make it us on the screen, but then I can't read because I try not to click on shit. You guys know if I start clicking on stuff, it's going to be a problem. And I've only got 2 screens. I don't have like 27 screens.
Oh, wait, you can't read? You can't read what, the chat otherwise?
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough room on my other screen for me to pull up all the chats.
Oh, all of them. Okay.
Right. Yeah, I've got like Foxhole over here where I can see it, and then I keep YouTube here where I can see it. So we've got infinity view. Right? Yeah, Aaron said a 30-second delay. All right, we'll do one more.
Your face is a 30-second delay.
Of course. Of course. Okay.
Any guess? Wait. This is a good question by Suiterbug. Any guess on who they put up against Trump in 24?
Who is they? Are we talking about who are the Republicans going to run, or who are the?
No, who are they going to put up
they?
against the Democrats?
You guys don't think Biden's gonna? You don't think Biden's gonna make it?
There's no way. I mean, if Biden somehow gets a second term, we will see an actual revolution. I mean, people are gonna just
come on, man.
There's no way he's even normal people I know are talking about how he's like losing his mind.
Did you see Charlemagne was sitting talking? Okay, for those of you guys that don't, Charlemagne the God, right? Does a really big podcast. I don't know, is he still on BET? I think his shit might still be on BET. I don't know. He's the one that Biden told, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Charlemagne was sitting around with a bunch of comedians the other day on a podcast, and he was like, this is some bullshit. Like, where is Trump? He was like, at least we knew where we stood with that guy. He was like, this guy, he be up there. We don't even know what he's doing. Like, came out against Biden, talking about where the hell is Trump? Like, basically that we need Trump now. So yes, the winds are changing, man. Like, dude is getting creamed in the polls.
Right. Who knows? They're gonna pull it's gonna be somebody
Hillary.
Ridiculous.
I mean, they'll probably run
Kanye. Yeah.
Kanye, right? Kanye's crazy. Kanye's crazy ass. No, I can see them running Hillary. Like, it'll be the rematch. Dun dun dun.
Joe Rogan versus The Rock.
Joe Rogan versus, that would suck.
Joe Rogan would win in a landslide if the vote was real.
He'd probably be an awesome president.
He would be. That he's the president. Like, we need somebody relatable. We can't have these dinosaurs in there anymore. Like,
no, right? Can you imagine him like, please send Joe Rogan to negotiate with Putin? That's what I'm saying. Thank you, Sean Joe, for the cookie. Like, send Joe to talk to Kim. They'd be sitting around smoking a blunt.
A normal, reasonable, logical person that isn't nearing the end of their life.
That'd be something.
Quit with these old men. Like, there's enough of that. Like, they're set in their old ways, and I know it's all set up, but it doesn't make any sense if you're really going to try and make a system like that work. Like, since when wisdom doesn't come with age anymore, because they're pumping everybody with drugs and chemicals and aluminum and fluoride, so their brain fails when they get old. So they're trying to get rid of the wise old man.
No, we need somebody maybe 40 years old that's kind of right on the cusp of between the boomers and the zoomers that can kind of unite the boomers.
Somebody who doesn't need diapers.
That'd be helpful, right? I don't want to pay for that man's diapers. That's some bullshit, man. That's some bullshit. I don't know. I think they're gonna run Hillary. Right.
They're gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I don't know.
Hopefully the aliens show up and
something.
And
just something's got to happen, right? All right. Let me see here. All right, the Ica stones in Peru.
Vote for Pedro. Okay, go ahead.
Pedro would be great.
Right.
The Ica stones in Peru contain carvings of what that appeared to defy scientific explanation, right? Was it A, DNA, B, airplanes, C, dinosaurs, or D, aliens?
I'm going to say airplanes.
Final answer?
Well, I don't know. I don't know where.
Up 3, you have to be 42 to be. I was just using 40 as like a general, like right in the middle. But yeah, definitely.
What did Pedro say?
Younger.
Vote for me, and all your wildest dreams will come true.
Well, I'm sold, right?
That's all we need to hear.
AJ for prez, right? Can you imagine Alex Jones as president? That would be crazy.
He'd freaking lose it.
That'd be great. Oh my god!
I'm fucking taking orders from you.
Right? Can you imagine all the secret information that we would get? Right. Just hearing him deliver like the State of the Union addresses would be epic. Like, I would love to see Alex Jones deliver a State of the Union address. That'd be that would make my life.
We get secret information from Biden whenever he's like picking who he's going to call on in the press conference. He's like, I'm supposed to call on you next. Like, it's our. Anyway, what is the answer?
Yeah, it's dinosaurs. That's right, frightening me, Melody. Yes, it's dinosaurs. Right. little Alarosauruses all over these stones. So apparently this farmer, he was a physician in Peru. Dr. Javier Cabrera in 1966 found like 10,000 stones of various
Oh,
sizes.
those stones.
Yeah,
Okay.
that were
You
carved
know what
with
I was
like
thinking of with that,
dinosaurs and
the one with the helicopter and stuff. The
oh
Egypt,
no
I
no
think that
no no
was
no.
Egypt. That's what I was thinking of. Okay.
Yeah, no, not that. Yeah, those were hieroglyphs that were carved with the helicopters and the airplanes and shit. These are actually
Yeah.
little stones that this guy
Right. That's
supposedly found.
uh-huh.
They had, you know, apparently advanced surgical methods and all kinds of stuff. Um, they were brought to this doctor claiming that, I mean, they looked super old. He was claiming that he was trying to get the attention of the archaeological authorities and nobody would pay any attention to him. So there were thousands of these stones. They set up a freaking museum for these. But then turns out the guy admitted to carving them himself. So it turned out to be a freaking
Did
hoax.
he? I
Well,
didn't hear
that's
that.
allegedly. This is according to the official narrative, right?
I
The
don't know
great
if I
narrative
believe.
says,
I just don't believe anything anymore because
I know.
he could have been blackmailed into saying that.
Saying that he could, yeah. I mean, they
Yeah.
looked legit. Like there were a lot of
Right.
them. They had all these little dinosaurs on them. They were
Just
cute.
like we had Robert Earl White on the podcast and that UFO crashed in his backyard and whatever 1991 or whatever it was, and the men in black literally came to his house and they told his mom that you tell everyone you saw a helicopter or we're coming after your son. They literally threatened her. So she, even though prior to that she was saying no, she was a UFO, hands down. She went to her grave after that, swearing up and down that it was a helicopter crash because she didn't want him to go kill her
I
son.
feel her.
So that if that happens in that situation, there's no doubt something like that. You tell people that you carved these, or we're gonna kill your wife and kids.
Right. I mean, for 10 years, the dude was solid on it. Like, no, I found these freaking stones. I mean, they were old looking. Like, I mean, how do you? I don't. They were really interesting looking. I wish I could click on things to pull up pictures. They were intricately carved. They had all kinds of weird shit on them. There were thousands of them. They've got a little museum for them now. But yeah, then the guy just suddenly comes out and says that he carved them all himself. Like, how you had time to carve 10,000 stones yourself with all of these little
Right. Like, what
designs and shit on them? Like,
I'm gonna be the most famous man ever.
right. I found dinosaur stones. Right. Who
Right.
knows? Who knows?
Frightening Me says dinosaurs aren't real and space is fake and gay.
It's no gravity, man. No gravity. The world is
Right.
flat. We all know
Right.
this. It is known. It is known. So can you announce anything? What do you got coming up this week? Anything?
No, nothing. Can't
Nothing.
tell you.
It's classified, super top secret. Guys, if you haven't gone to get your tickets to come hang out in Grafton, Illinois on what days?
May 2nd through the 5th.
May
Grafton,
2nd
Illinois.
through the 5th.
I'm actually getting more and more excited. I mean, I know it's still like 4 months away, but it's going to be here before we know it. I've been putting a lot of work in behind the scenes, just trying to make this thing happen. Working on another promo. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. I'm
excited about it.
More and more people are grabbing tickets. It's just going to be a huge reunion. It's finally we get a chance to, all see each other again and fuck the travel restrictions. Just
it'll be super fun.
If you just manifest it for yourself, you can go.
Right. Well, I released the scratching on Foxhole for whatever that was worth, guys. So go get your scratch off tickets. And what else? I guess. SFN Sunday night at 9 on 1 Foot and 5D. If you don't know, now you know. Come hang out. We are back. Yeah, I am on Mars. I'm on Mars right now. See? This is Mars, right?
Shout out one more time to the truckers because this is the revolution. I mean, this is the stuff. This is what it's going to look like. And yeah, hopefully this makes a difference. Hopefully we start seeing a shift.
I believe we will. Well, much love, peeps. And until next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Right? Now I get to go back to work. I'm so excited.
What did the little cooler
Jimmy James!
say? What did the little cooler say to the big cooler?
What?
Don't hate me just because I'm a little cooler.
Is that how that joke went?
That's how that joke went.
I saw the meme. It was super cute.
No, I made up the joke after I read the meme. But
I'm a little cooler.
That is the joke.
I'm a little cooler.
Good night. Mary Maya, Melody, Mana Soul Essence, Sudabug, Rodney Reno, The School of Multidimensional Intuition, Jessica Light Warrior, Frightening Me, Michelle Jeanette, good night.
Yeah, look at you reading names.
All right. Solar Flash.
Right, Patricia Sertle, Scott Robinson.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger, Will Robinson.
You know, they're finally coming out with another season of the Orville.
I love the Orville. I thought they canceled
it's coming out like real soon. No, they did, but it's coming on a new network.
Oh,
it's
good.
coming back, I think.
Just like how they saved The Expanse. The Expanse was my favorite. They just ended it. Amazon ended up having to take it when whoever canceled it. I was so upset. I was signing petitions and shit, like, bring back The Expanse.
I'm gonna, as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna try and send you.
Yeah, I need to see
those Dubai videos.
I need to see the naked Dubai people.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
We can actually probably do a lot more digging on that.
Yeah, I'm curious, especially after the attacks last week. It seems like an odd coinky-dink. Night, people!